Welcome to a new anime review series. This is One Punch Man anime review episode 1. Yeah, the reason why the whole fist thing because the guy's all about basically defeating all his enemies with him one punch. The star of the series is Stalma. That's I think it's pronounced the guy's name. Yeah, he's the star of the series, and he is voiced by the same guy who voices King from not Fairy Tail. I think of Fairy Tail. Uh, from the previous series I just reviewed, which is Seven Deadly Sins. Yeah, it's the same exact guy. I'm not kidding. I looked it up. But he's not the only familiar voice actor in here. Yeah, a couple of Funimation veterans are basically in the series. Excuse me. The first one is Christopher Sabat. Yeah, he appears only in episode 1, voicing the first villain that Stalma defeats in the series. Yep. Saitama, yeah. He voices a character named, find him here, Vaccine Man. Yeah, that's seriously the guy's name. Yeah, at least he's more impressive than that wizard who was appointment in Adult. Yeah. He's a big purple guy who caused a lot of destruction, and then all of a sudden, Saitama shows up. Saitama, yeah, he shows up and he just defeats him one punch. And he goes like, "Damn it! I defeated one punch again." Yeah, and then of course at the end of the series, same thing happens again. Patrick Salt's in the series as well. Yeah, I should point out though for these two particular voice actors, for Christopher Sabat, this is the 14th series I've actually heard his voice in. For Patrick Salt, this is the 17th series. Yes. For Patrick Salt, he voices a guy named Tank Top Master. Yeah, he's one of the heroes of the series. Yeah, Tank Top Master, I think it's one of the C-list heroes. Let's see if I can find him here. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah, he was even seen at the end. Now, over the course of 12 episodes, yes, this first season has only got 12 episodes in it, and it only adapts the first 36 chapters in the manga. Oh, in case you're wondering, how many chapters was manga released? 92 in 6 years. Yeah, I'm a little confused with the publication schedule as well. The series was originally a webcomic published by a writer named One, which was later turned into a manga series like 3 years later, and then this series came roughly like about 3 or 4 years later. Yep. Yep. Let's see. Now, the webcomic, which One Punch Man is based on, that's actually still being published. Yes, it is. It's still being published this very day. And, oh yeah, I should also point out, though, the manga is a remake of it. Yep. And the first episode aired for this series back in October 5th, 2015. And they only aired 12 episodes, which, when I saw it, I'm like, wow, this is a short season. I'm not kidding. It is. In Japan, it started from October 4th, 2015, and it ended in Japan on December 20th, 2015. Here, it aired on July 16, 2016, and it ended in October 8th, 2016. Yeah. Over the course of like 4 months, this particular series aired. And it was produced by Madhouse. Yep, the same studio that produced the Marvel anime series, a couple segments in Batman Gotham Knight, Death Note, the Hunter x Hunter series. Yeah, and this is also one of the handful of series I've seen where it's set in present day. Not in the past, not some other dimension. The only series I've seen that does this has been Bleach, because, well, at the time when it started, it probably was set in 2001, of course, was jumped ahead to, I'd say about 2003-ish. You have this, you have Death Note, you have, Hunter x Hunter, not Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter was originally set in. It's kind of set in present day, but they later incorporated stuff because of the series. I kind of count that one. My Hero Academia, Tokyo Ghoul. So I would say this is the 6 or 7 series I've seen where it's actually set in present day, and that's when the manga is actually set. Though, in the case of a series like Sailor Moon Crystal, where it was moved to present day, unlike in the original series, both in the original anime and in the original manga, it took place in the 90s. Yep. Though this is one of the very few anime I've seen where they actually use smartphones. Yeah, and I love all the animation, the technology used in here at the Hero Association headquarters. Yeah, though this is by far the second series in a row I've reviewed. Second series I reviewed where the main motif of the series is superheroes. And this is something really, I've got to point this out though. Most of the heroes in this particular franchise are really, really lame. Yeah, coming with the silly names as Tank Top Hero or King because he takes credit for Stalma's moves. Terrible Twister. Yeah, and she looks like she's a little girl, but she's actually older than even Saitama, who's actually 25. Jiros, who is Stalma's apprentice, well, I would say his disciple, he's only 19. Yeah, which makes him like 6 years younger. Now, there is Twister's sister who appears in the series. She appeared for roughly one episode, episode 6. And she also appears in OVAs. I'll get to that in episode 2 of this. But here are the arcs they adapt over the course of these 12 episodes. And you'd be like, what? They adapt this many chapters for one episode? Okay, the first episode is the introduction arc, which is episode 1, and it's adapted for the first 4 chapters of the manga. House of Evolution is adapted from chapters 5 to 11, which takes episodes 2 and 3. 4 is the Paradise Group arc, which is 12 to 15. 5 and 6 is actually adapted from two arcs. National Super Registry arc, which actually got chapters 16 to 19. 20 is a Rumored Monster arc. 7 is a Giant Meteor arc, which is basically just 2 chapters. Sea Monster arc, which is adapted into episodes 8 and 9, adapted from chapters 23 to 28. And the last arc, which was there for the series, which took up episodes 8 through 12, is adapted from 29 to 36, which is known Alien Conquerors. And that's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, only 8 arcs in 12 episodes. Yeah, even I read these arcs in the manga, and I was like, man, these arcs are really short. Like, excuse me, I would say 92 chapters for this manga so far. I could probably say the longest arc so far is Monster Raid. Yeah, this is only 15 chapters. A lot of these arcs are really not that long. Some are like 2 chapters. One is like 6, another one is like 8. Which by the time Alien Conquerors came out, that was basically the longest running arc of the whole series until Monster Raid came out. Yeah, the Monster Association arc, which is the current arc of the series, that's been going on since chapter 78. And this arc has been going on for roughly about 15 chapters, which basically makes about the same length as the previous arc. Yeah, I think, isn't it? Well, actually, it's about the same length as 2 arcs back, so about the same length. And the thing is, the publication schedule for this particular manga is quite bizarre. It started in 2012, and it's only produced like 92 chapters. Apparently, I think either was started weekly first, and then at some point switched to monthly at some point. I don't have any idea. Now, Tornado's sister Buzzard, who does appear in the manga, even though she appeared for one episode here, her actual first appearance in the manga was in chapter 41 in the Buzzard Branch arc. Yeah, she made her debut much more later. My personal guess is the reason why they decided to include her in the quick cameo in this episode is because they actually do want an introduction to her so they can explore her later, but for some reason the anime just abruptly stopped after 12 episodes. Yeah, this is something that really kind of bugs me about series like this, where you have the air for a certain period of time and then you stop airing the series. Yeah, and it's unknown why Madhouse decided to skip out on doing season 2. Yeah, it's completely unknown. I think maybe the reason why the series had to end at this point is because they were probably confused with the publication schedule as well. And the webcomic itself, which is the manga's remake of, that's been going on since 2009, and it's still going to this very day, going on for 9 years. Yep. But this webcomic is only published like, I looked up, it's like 110 chapters in just 9 years. Which, okay, that kind of does make sense. Yeah. So my guess is that the webcomic published weekly, monthly. I haven't read it yet, so, and I've seen what these characters look like. Now, here's the thing about Saitama. A lot of the time when you see him in the manga, he doesn't have a serious face, and he looks very bored. Like, he always has the same facial expression a lot of the time, and he's very, I wouldn't say he's antisocial in a way, he's very sociable. But because he spent so long strength training for so long, he is not very social with a lot of people. Like, he interacts with Jiro's perfectly fine. It's just that, well, his interaction with people, he's like, he's not a very good conversational person. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I remember even when he first met Tornado, which was during the Alien Conquerors arc, when he's first mention of her is that she thought that she was a little girl, even though she's actually much older than that. And Blizzard is actually her younger sister, despite the fact that by height wise, people think, oh, but Blizzard must be her older sister. Nope, younger sister. Yeah, the series not bother to explain it. I would probably say one of the coolest members of the Elite Heroes is probably Atomic Knight. I really appreciate this guy. I mean, come on, a samurai with the name Atomic? Yeah. Yeah. And he's got an apprentice who dresses up as a knight. I mean, what do they call him? Atomic Knight? Who knows? And as for the secret of Saitama's power, even yes, he did go strength training for a whole year, and somehow he was able to lose his power. But as far as even the manga, they never bothered to explain what the secret of his power is. It's probably by far one of the biggest mysteries of the entire franchise is what's secret to this guy's power. Jiro is just a cyborg who was turned into a cyborg by his request. Because some rampaging cyborg, which I don't think even the manga they even got to that yet. Like, I haven't read the webcomic, so please don't spoil the webcomic because I have not had a chance to read it yet, but I've seen some of the artwork for it. Apparently, some of the early artwork for the webcomic was really, really bad. And I'm thinking, how in the world is this webcomic still publishing with terrible artwork? Yeah. And apparently, the writer won. He kind of writes this stuff, but a lot of the stuff is very original material. So say. I mean, by far, this has been it was a pretty fun manga to read, so I figured, though, why not check out the anime? And the anime itself is not very long, and didn't take me very long to get through it. Nope. I started last night, got through the first couple episodes, and today I got through the last 10, and bam, done. I didn't get a chance to start this until I got home from Barnes & Noble today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and some of the stuff like that, and during the Alien Conquerors arc, they actually had cameos from various characters appearing in the previous arc, like the obsessed scientist guy and his cyborg gorilla. Yeah, they make a return. Yeah, because they're all just watching TV, watching these alien invaders. Now, they do kind of explain in the anime, heck, even the manga, but ask what species these people are. It's kind of like, okay, let's have an alien invasion story for just no reason. And here's kind of the thing. They don't explain any who these species are, and then there's this A-list hero, A-class hero, who is a celebrity, who is top of the A-class, and apparently he is this dick of a celebrity. Yep, he is. I'm like, he says the reason why he doesn't want to go S-class because he knows S-class is a bunch of buffoons. Yeah, and also the top ranking superhero, the S-class one, is a guy called Metal Knight. And here's kind of the weird thing about this guy. Apparently, he's a guy who remotely powers robots. and somehow this guy is named to be the rank 1 superhero. I'm like, seriously? And some of these other superheroes, I'm like, how in the world are these guys even ranking? Some of these guys got terrible names and very weird power sets. There's also the Puny Prisoner, who is a kind of a fun character. It's heavily implied this guy is gay, due to the fact because he says, "I like saving handsome men," and the fact he mentions he has a boyfriend. So, yeah, you have a gay character in the manga, even though that's kind of part of his character, but not a big driving force for him. Also, for some reason, whenever he goes with big power set, he has to basically strip completely naked. I'm like, wow. Oh, and by the way, he's not the only person who does this. There's this ninja called the Supersonic Ninja, who apparently decided to, get away from the Deep Sea King in the Sea King arc. He apparently decided to strip himself butt naked and run around in the rain in the nude. Yeah, he's by far not the only person to do this. Even Saitama, the first time it's Gyros, he actually is in the nude because, well, Mosquito Girl, well, she destroyed his clothes, so he had to basically defeat her in the nude. The way he defeats her is by slapping her. And splat. I'm like, wow. Yeah, that's the weird thing about this series. There's certain villains, basically, where they're defeated so easily because that's actually part of the character. The guy's just way overpowered. And I could definitely say that the villain for the Alien Conquest arc was actually a lot more interesting of a fight than a lot of the other fights in the series. Like, oh yeah, one punch and that was it. But this is by far a really good series. And I do recommend people basically to try it out, but also try out the manga. Though when you get into the manga itself, if you bench read it, it won't take you too long. It's not that long of a series, only 92 chapters. Heck, it didn't take me very long for me either. It took me roughly about a week to get through the manga. Yep, just a week. And got it done. All update, wait for the next chapter to come out. Yeah, I checked when the last chapter came out in 92. It only came out like last week. So I got like a month before chapter 93 comes out. So it looks like maybe this year that the 100th chapter might come out. But who knows? And I looked up a lot of the chapters for this particular series are original stories. Which actually are not adapted from the webcomic itself. Yeah, like some of these other ones basically they're like the last chapter that came out, apparently it's adapted from the 59th chapter of the webcomic. Yeah, there's actually several arcs which are not adapted from the webcomic at all. Nope. They are not. Let's see if I can find it here. The first arc not adapted from the webcomic is, let's find it here, is probably the Rumored Monster arc. Yeah, that's the first one. And then after that, the next arc that's not adapted from the webcomic is the Hero Hunt arc. Well, our first couple chapters of the arc, it's all original material. Yeah, basically chapter 51. Let's see. It's mostly just 47 through 78, 80, 81. Yeah, and those are all pretty much just all original material. It's not remake. It's not adapted from the actual webcomic. Oh yeah, and I looked up. Apparently, this is all the original creators' idea to do this. Yep. So overall, great series. Now tomorrow I'm going to cover the OVAs the series had. There's only about 6 of them, 7 if you include the episodes. There's like about 7 overall. So hopefully this won't take too long. I'll probably finish it up. Start tonight and finish it tomorrow. Expect a review of this. So yeah, that's it for this episode. Excuse me. Stay tuned for tomorrow for episode 2, and probably the last episode for a while relating to One Punch Man. The only other video I might produce for is whenever a new chapter of the manga might come out, which probably come out later this month. So I have to wait a few weeks for that. So yeah, like after tomorrow, it'll be just specials until the anime comes back, which They have not announced when it's going to be coming back. All is known is that it's in production and it's being produced by JC Staff, which I looked up their library catalog. I've never seen any of these people work at all. At least Madhouse, I was familiar with their library. The current people, no idea. I think Madhouse also did the OVAs. I don't know yet because I haven't had a chance to watch them yet. But until I see you in the next video, bye.